श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्ताम् सदा हृदि स्वादयन्निह सर्वेषाम् त्रय्यन्तार्थम् सुदुर्ग्रहम् स्तोत्रयामास योगीन्द्रः तम् वन्दे यामुनाह्वयम् नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः नमो नमो यामुनाय यामुनाय नमो नमः यत्पदाम्भोरुहध्यान विध्वस्ताशेषकल्मषः वस्तुतामुपयातोऽहम् यामुनेयम् नमामि तम्
श्रीमत्कृष्ण समाह्वाय नमो यामुनसूनवे यत्कटाक्ष एकलक्ष्याणाम् सुलभः श्रीधरः सदा नमः यामुन पाद अब्ज रेणुभिः पावित आत्मने विदित अखिल वेद्याय गुरवे विदित आत्मने नमः अचिन्त्य अद्भुत अक्लिष्ट ज्ञान वैराग्य राशये नाथाय मुनये अगाध भगवत भक्ति सिंधवे. If you show me the Taniyans of Namalvar, we can understand something. Bhaktamritam Vishwajananumodhanam Sarvarthadam Shakshi Athagopavangmaya Ragashtra Shakopanishat Samagamam Namamyaham Dravida Vedasara. We understand very easily the greatness of Namalvar. He has been elixir to all the devotees, Bhakta Amritam. And he has been making all the people in the world, in all worlds, the whole universe, accept his concepts and he made them happy also. Then he gave all the meanings comprehensively and exclusively and entirely. He is called Shatagopa. And he gave the meaning of Samaveda, which has got 1,000 branches. Sagastra Shaka, the Upanishads of the Samaveda, all of them, what we call, we have Triveni Sangamam. Triveni. Number 1 is some Sanskrit scripture. Number 2 is some Tamil scripture. Number 3 is Upanishads of Samaveda. Namamyaham Dravida Vedasagaram. He is the ocean of the Tamil scripture. You have the third Thiruvazhi Nadendrum, Ten Guru Hurendrum. The next one. Maruviniya Van Purunal Endrum Arumarahil Andadishidan Adiyanaye Eppozhum Sindhiyai Nanje Thelil. Because he tasted the river water of Tamraparni. Tamraparni, if you take 1,000 liters of Tamraparni water, the river water, boil it, and you will get 1 gram of copper. That's what's called Tamra. So here, so Thiruvazhi Nadendrum, Tenguru Hooranagi, we are referring to his native place, and he has been using these scriptures, Sanskrit scriptures, and made them what we call in a style called Antadi. The first letter of the second verse will be the last word. The first word of the second verse will be the last word of the first word. Antadi. And therefore, let us all worship his divine feet. And when we have clarity of thought, we will always worship Namah. And by the name Shatagopa, we understand that he won over the air called, the wind called Shata, which confuses us, which acts as the screen from, obscuring the vision of the Lord for the individual soul. Whereas he could win over it, and therefore he is called Shatakopa. He could restrict the Shataka. This is the air wind that haunts as soon as we are born. We go to the next one. Swami Gopal Srinivasan Swami can add more. மனத்தாலும் வாயாலும் மழித்துருவோர் பேணும் இனத்தாரை அல்லாது இறைஞ்சேன் தனத்தாலும் ஏதும் குறைவிலேன் என்ற சடகோபன் பாதங்கள் யாமுடைய பக்தி. Meaning that we are our devotion to the divine feet of Nammalvar should be always there. We must love his divine feet, and if we do that, we will be rich. We will have no shortage of wealth, and you have to worship him by mind, by mouth, and you have to beg him also. He is our refuge. So we can also serve those who worship Nammalvar. So we say vacha karmani sharirat. So by action, by word, and by body, we can be devoted to Nammalvar. Next one. This is the first and the previous one. Okay. So ஏய்ந்த பெருங்கீர்த்தி இராமானுஷ முனிதன் வாய்ந்த மலர்பாதம் வணங்குகின்றேன் ஆய்ந்த பெரும் சீரார் சடகோபன் செந்தமிழ் வேதம் தரிக்கும் பேராத உள்ளம் பெற. In order to learn, in order to get the knowledge in our heart, we have to bow down to Nammalvar on his divine feet, flower-like feet. And Nammalvar was followed by Ramanujacharya. Ramanujacharya was very famous, and therefore, in order to understand the scripture, Tamil scripture, namely Thiruvaimozhi, you will have to worship both Nammalvar and Ramanujacharya. Then வாழ்த்துகழும் சோலை மதிலரங்க வன் புகழ் மேல் ஆன்ற தமிழ் மறைகள் ஆயிரமும் ஈன்ற முதல் தாய் சடகோபன் மொயம்பால் வளர்த்த இதத்தாய் ராமாவன். We call Nammalvar as the first mother, and Ramanujacharya as the favorite mother, favorable mother. So வாழ்த்துகழும் சோலை, the park, what you call the flora of Srirangam, is known by the entire world because it is an island. The two rivers go around Srirangam, it is always rich in flora. And then Madilarangar, we are talking about the wall constructed by Tirumangayalva, the king Tirumangayalva, and then Nammalvar's Thiruvaimozhi are very famous because it gives the meaning of the Samaveda in its 1,000 branches. It gives in pure Tamil. Nammalvar gave birth to Thiruvaimozhi, and therefore he is called the mother, first mother. Now, after Nammalvar, Ramanujacharya supported the view of Nammalvar. Then he propagated, spread the concept all over the country, and therefore he is called the favorite mother. Mother who does always good to the children. We are the children of God. The last Taniyan. மிக்க இறைநிலையும் மெய்யாம் உயிர்நிலையும் தக்க நெறியும் தடையாகி தொக்கியலும் ஊழ்வினையும் வாழ்வினையும் ஓதும் புல்கையற்பம் யாழினிசை வேதத்து இயல். If we read Thiruvalmozhi, we will understand that there are three aspects. Number one, the Tamil literature, the beauty of Tamil literature. Number two, it is dramatic. We can understand the art form there. It is like conversation between the Lord and the devotee. There are so many other aspects also. Mother and daughter, the wife of the Lord, the wife with the Lord. Nammalvar becomes the wife, what you call Parakala Nayika. We say it in Tamil as Parakala Nayaki. He becomes the lady of the God, the wife of the God. And you understand the Tattva Hita Purushartha by reading Thiruvalmozhi. Mikka Irainilayam. So that is what we call Tattva. Meyyam Uyirnilayam. That is Hita. Takka Neriyum Tadayaki Tokkiyalum Purushartha. And Urvinayum Varvinayum Odum Kurhayarkum. Now we are talking about the three sins, Sanchita, Agami and Prarabdha. That is Urvinay. Varvinay is the pleasures of this world. So both of them are presented by Nammalvar Thiruvalmozhi. Therefore, he is otherwise called because of the place Kurhayarkum. And I told you, the first aspect, namely Tamil literature, the greatness of Tamil literature. Number two, the content, namely the ideas from the scriptures. And thirdly, one can sing the Thiruvalmozhi. The musical resonance, the musical aspect of Thiruvalmozhi is so high. And therefore, when we read Thiruvalmozhi in a particular tune, then it becomes very beautiful music. It almost, it is the music coming from the lute, L-U-T, L-Y-R-E, lyre. And we had once upon a time, the Tamil community had once upon a time something called yard. Now it is not 100% available. Of course, they are manufacturing such an instrument. And that is very musical, highly melodious. And therefore, already given in English, L-Y-R-E. The substance of the scriptures have been given. So you have nature of Godhead, the nature of the soul, the path of worship, the obstacles and the means of overcoming them. The obstacles are called the sins. Even the merits are obstacles that we all know. The means of overcoming them is what we call Varvinayam. All the 5 truths are given in Thiruvalmozhi of Nammalvar. So thanks to Gopal Srinivasan Swami for reminding us the birthday star of Nammalvar. In fact, if you take the Srirangam temple, we will have every day, 365 days will be some preceptor's birthday, some star.
I would just like to add one thing to what Swami has said. That is, this Vyakyanam, this interpretation made by Pillan, Ayirappadi on Thiruvalmozhi, there is a further interpretation of that given by Navalpakam Vasudeva Tatacharya Swami, which is available on YouTube. So one could go to Ramanujadaya in YouTube and then listen to Nalpakam Swami's interpretation of Billan's Thiruvayam. Those who are interested can do that. That's what I wanted to. That is a matter of information. If some people are not aware of it.
Can you post the URL in the chat?
Yes, I will do that. I'll do that.
Thank you.
As we had Wright brothers inventing the aeroplane, we have two brothers, Dr. V. Kannan, the mathematics professor, retired as the pro-chancellor of Central University, Hyderabad. He is a very great scholar, and his younger brother called Dr. N. Vasudevacharya, N.E. Vasudevacharya, professor of Sanskrit in the University of Kerala.
Thiruvananthapuram.
Both of them hail from Navalpakam, a village which is known for Anushthan, Achara. They are very orthodox, they are very strict in everything. And the village has produced very great scholars. And one of them has had the Chevalier Award, second award in India. A Sanskrit scholar got the Chevalier Award. His name is Dr. N. S. Ramanuja Tathacharya. He was an expert in 5 shastras. And his books are available. We celebrated his 80th birthday. Fortunately, I was able to praise him with my verses also. And we have a lot of what we call souvenirs published in his name. So many people writing articles about him. And very soft-spoken, never got angry, explained the concept very patiently to all the students who asked the doubts. And then so he passed away in only Mumbai.
Mumbai, yes, I know. His son was working for Reliance.
Such people of such caliber are very rare.
Yeah. Actually, that village, Navalpakam, is called Stotraratnam Navalpakam, because always Vedic chanting going on over there in that village. Once when I went to that village, I went to another Navalpakam. They said, no, they don't stay here. They live in Stotraratnam Navalpakam.
Well, if we can go to
the
page, the next page.
So Swami, I think we finished page 21.
Yeah.
And then you were going to start. Should we? Is it okay to just start here? 22.
There was the last word in the page under the footnote. Neraya Nistarakan. Puttennum Naragathi Dandu Vippavan. The son should perform the last rites of the parents, and he is called Neraya Nistarakan. He will make the ancestors cross over the hell called Put. This is a concept. So every year, every month, every what we call Sankramana, I told you the 96 days of 365 days are the what we call days of obsequies, the rituals for the mains, and we have to do it. Now we saw that Vibhuti is our aim, but the Nitya Vibhuti is our aim. So we also saw the up to 99. Now we have to take up 99. Okay. So Yadeva Avataranatale Chele Kannir Endirukkum Alvar Nenevendi Yadeva Madanvayanam. Next one, Niyamena Madanvayanam, that continues. Because Nammalvar incarnate. Nammalvar incarnate. And therefore, he was for some time up to age 16. He was very idle. Was little looked like an idle person. But அவருக்கு பிரியம் என்று போம் அதோடைய பிராமாதிகமானவும் புறம்பு போவதன்றிக்கே இருக்கை. He when Madhura Kaviyalvar praised Nammalvar, as you know, in Kannin Tamil, then he became so affectionate that he never wanted to leave Nammalvar, and because all the concepts of Nammalvar have been clearly understood by Madhura Kaviyalvar. Madanvayana, Vidyaya Janmanava, 99. That's what I was saying. Vidyaya Janmanava and Ubhaya Santana Jatarakum. There are people who are born rich. There are people who are born highly educated. So the knowledge that gets transferred from one birth to another birth, many people are say prodigies, or many people are very intelligent. By birth in a particular family, in an educated family, we are all fortunate to get the wisdom very quickly. So, Vidyaya Janmanava. So, Adyasya. Now, so Ubhaya Santana Jataha meaning there are two gifts given to us at the time of birth. Number one, education. Number two, the birth in a good family. That is what we call Santanam. Santanam also means issue, child, as well as continuity. Then Vaidika Santanamukku Prathamacharya irukku. Nammalvar becomes the first preceptor to teach us the continuous what you call gain continuous wisdom from the scriptures. Vaidika Santanam. Nakkulapatehe. Naha, our, who you are. Our Striki Bhattrukulam Pole. Gotra Rishigalam Avare. So Kulapati, we say in Sanskrit today, a vice chancellor of a university. That means just like Vasishtha was Kulapati for the solar race, kings of solar race. So Kulapatehe, of the leader of the family, leader of the race, what we call as a preceptor, Naha for us. And it is like the family, the lady, the wife has the husband as her lord. And then Gotra Rishigalam Avare. So all the sages come under Nammalvar's purview. Then Vakulabhiramam. He has been adorned with a flower called Bakula. And then his feet are also beautifully decorated. Meaning the feet, we say the feet of the poem. The feet of the poem. The poem here refers to the feet of the scriptures. The Rik, we say, RK, Rik of the scriptures. And they also have beautiful smell. And we can enjoy the smell and read the book. Now here, Vedanta Deshika says about the divine feet of Ranganatha in his Bhagavad Jnana Sopanam as a transcreation of Amalanadi Piran of Tirupazhunazhar. He said, Velatita Shruti Parimalam. There is a beautiful smell for the scriptures, and it is endless in quantity and quality. And one can enjoy. He said, my mind should have reflection, what you call image of the lotus feet of Lord Ranganatha. The lotus feet of Lord Ranganatha has the pair of feet has a beautiful smell, and that is his unlimited smell, Velatita Shruti Parimalam. And who knows it? Who understands the smell? Who has already experienced the smell? Namely, Brahma. How many Brahmas? There are hundreds and thousands of crores of Brahmas. Vedhasam Mauli Sevya. All the creators in each era, in each kalpam, comes and falls at the feet of the Lord. And therefore they know the smell. Mauli Sevyam. Generally, in order to worship a king, other slave kings will bring their crown and put the crown at the feet. That should be the respect given to a monarch or monarch today, by emperor. In the same way, all the Brahmas, each Brahma, each creator has got a span of life, long span of life, and that is called Koti Kalpa, 1 crore Kalpa. Kalpa consists of 4 yugas. The yugas consists of lakhs of years. After 1 Koti Kalpa, another Brahma is born. He is also born. He in incarnation. He is born. He is born just like us. Therefore, we have got a lot of Brahmas, lot of creators. Now, all the creators worship the divine feet of the Lord, and they experience this smell. So, Velatita Shruti Parimalam Vedhasam Mauli Sevya. Where are the divine feet? Kanaka Saritaha Saikate Hamsa Jutte. So it is between the Kaveri and the Kolrum. Kaveri and Vadaturik Kaveri. There is a tributary of the river Kaveri, and then in between these two rivers, Lord Sri Ranganatha is reclined. Therefore, he says, Pradurbhutam Kanaka Saritaha Saikate Hamsa Jutte. The bank of the river Kaveri is full of swans. So when you say swans, Srirangam is a place for lot of sannyasis, and therefore they are called swans. Otherwise, we call them in Sanskrit Parama Hamsa Parivrajakaha. They are all mendicants, they are all other beggars, you say. So they have to do uncha vritti like Vedanta Deshika. They have to beg for their food. And then, so here, Paramahamsa is mentioned indirectly by Vedanta Deshika. It is not the question of only swans going around the banks of the river, but there are sannyasis available. Recluses are available in order to bless the people and show the right way and so on. Then, of course, Lakshmi Bhumyoho Karasarasijayi Lalitam Rangavartuhu Padam Bhojam, the lotus feet of the Lord. Pratiphalati me, it is being reflected in my mind. How is my mind? My mind is as big as a lake. As big as a pond, as big as what you call a tank of water. Bhavana Dirghikaya. So long that it can accommodate Sri Ranganatha in the lying posture. And then if we say Bhavana, only an emotion, it is an attachment, it is bhakti toward the Lord. Therefore he says that. So what I mean to say is here, the scriptures give a smell, beautiful smell. So we have Tirumagil Malayale, Alankritamai Villathai, Magal Alankaramana Tiruvadigal, Magal Alankaramana Tiruvadigal, Ittale, Tiruvadigalil, Parivalatale Vanda, Bhogyate Solviradu. When even the divine feet of the Lord are enjoyable, then you can imagine how much enjoyment, how much bliss will we be given by the Lord in Nitya Vibhuti. Nalladi Meladi Naru Thudayi. So this is of course quotation from Divya Prabandham, which says the divine feet of the Lord is always worshipped by or always worshipped by tulasi, the basil leaves, flowers, and so on. And therefore, the feet also give naturally good smell and artificially also good smell because of the flowers and the basil leaves offered at the feet. And therefore, Nalladi Meladi Naru Thudayi. The basil leaves also have got a good smell. Srimat, Sri Vaishnava Shivoda, Nitya Samyuktamani irukku. Mattu means full of. Srimat means full of richness. Srimat. So we have the word for different people. So when one is called Srimat, other is called Shriman. Shriman. The word is also used in Tamil as Shriman. When you say somebody is a Shriman, he has got what we call the wealth of doing service to God. Therefore, he is called Kaikarya Shriman. So Kaikarya Shriman was Lakshmana. Lakshmana was Kaikarya Shriman. Antarikshagata Shriman was Vibhishana. He stood in the sky and begged Rama to accept him for a total surrender. So he was in the sky, therefore Antarikshagata Shriman. So he was ready to do service. He kept his service at the disposal of Rama after coming from Sri Lanka, leaving the elder brother. So Antarikshagata Shriman. Satu Nagavara Shriman. Now this is refers to Adishesha's role in doing service to God. We say Lord has become dejected, disgusted because of the monotonous routine situation available in Nitya Vibhuti. Therefore, he wanted to leave the bed, namely Adishesha, and came to Mathura as Lord Krishna. Mathura Purim Agata. Shesha Paryankam Utsrijya, the Mathura Purim Agata. He came to Mathura. He came to Mathura, leaving the bed Adishesha. But though Lord Adishesha was giving a lot of service. So Natu Nagavara Sima. Naga here refers to the snake. Naga also refers to elephant. Nagavara Sima. So we are now here talking about the elephant only. The leader of the elephant, Gajendra. Gajendra was also called one of the Alvar, one of the apostles of our devotees of the Lord. And what did he do? You know the story when he went to take the lotus flower, pluck the lotus flower in order to worship God. He was caught by a crocodile. Both of them had been cursed by the sages to become one becoming an elephant and another becoming a crocodile. And both of them fought with each other for thousands of years, 1,000 years. And finally, he said, Natu Nagavara Sima, he became very rich, he became relieved of the crocodile because of his meditation by the single syllable, Om. We won't say he cried in many languages and say Mudalva. He said Mudalva in Tamil. I forget the previous word. Ellarukkum Mudalva. Sriman Narayana was the first among the gods, and therefore he called him Mudalva. And again, we will also say in Tamil, the elephant cried Adi Moolame. Adi Moolame. Bhagavatam doesn't say Adi Moolame. Srimad Bhagavatam says only he cried, elephant cried ha, as usual. Natural that. The letter, first letter A, that came out of the mouth of the elephant, the pachyderm. Then that becomes that he was blessed with the vision of the Lord. Therefore, Satu Nagavara Stima. Then Lakshmana Lakshmi Sampanna. Lakshmana is called Kaikarya Stima. You can add it here. Lakshmi Sampanna. He was always rich. He was always happy. And he was, though he served Rama for 14 years without eating anything, he was separated from his wife. In spite of all these things, he served Rama sincerely. And that makes him stand in good stead. He is always associated with the richest. He never bothered about money. So he was doing always service to Lord Rama. So என்று பகவத் பிரத்யாசத்தியே ஐஸ்வர்யமாக சொல்லப்படுகிறது. So we have been understanding that the goal of human life will be reaching Vaikuntham, or we call it Bhagavat Prapti, reaching the God and so on. But the more important point here is we have to do service and all these things. We should be able to do service. So service, when you do service, it should be a spotless service, blemishless service, it should be total service, and so on. There are so many conditions. And so we must believe in God. Bhagavat Pratyasati, our total belief in God. Then that is when we love God, that is the bhakti. That is the bhakti. என்னுடைய சம்பத்துக்கு அடியான ஐஸ்வர்யத்தை உடையர் என்றார். Now, so he said, I'm a rich man. Therefore, I don't want money. Tadangiri Yugalam. அது என்னும் இத்தனை ஒழிய பேசி முடிக்க ஒண்ணா. Can we describe the divine feat of Sri Ramanujacharya or Nammalvar or any we will not be able to praise him totally, and therefore their qualities are very many. Tadangiri Yugalam. அது என்னும் இத்தனை ஒழிய பேசி முடிக்க ஒண்ணாது என்ன. தத்து அங்கிரி யுகலம், தத்து அது, that refers to Nammalvar's divine feat. We can also take it for other preceptors. Then பேசி முடிக்க ஒண்ணாது என்ன. As usual, the scriptures do not know how to praise Lord fully. And in the same way, so the scripture says, Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasataha. Even the mind cannot imagine the meanings of the scripture, and therefore we have to wait. So we have to depend on preceptors. So let us take both the feet to worship, Yugalam and Pranamami Mudra. So Alvar's divine feet are always remember. So after saying Namaha, என்று நிற்க மாட்டாதே அவர் திருவடிகளிலே தலை சேர்க்கிறார். So when you see the preceptor should be worshipped with our head touching his feet. And கீழ் உபகாரகரை ஆசிரியத்தை இத்தா செய்தது முமுட்சுவுக்கு உபகாரகரே. Supposing we fall at the feet of some other preceptor because he has helped us in some way or other, he also he is our redeemer from this world, and he is also helping us to reach moksha. And last but one point is Sheshitva Prapattiki Vishaya Bhutaram Stutyaram Ennumidam Sollitrai. So a person is worshipable. A person is worshipable because our confidence lies in our slavery. Sheshitva Pratipattiki, when we are very confident of our doing service to Lord, then Vishaya Bhutaram Stutyaram. One should understand the world and one should worship. Both of them are important. And finally, ஒருவருக்கு சேஷிகள் இருவராம் படி இருக்கை எங்கனே. Now this is the concept of Vedanta Deshika Sampradaya, opposed by the Chanacharya Sampradaya. Namely, how can you say there is a master with two concepts? So here, Sheshigal, what you call the boss. How can you have two bosses of a company? So instead of saying Lord Srinivasa and Padmavati Kaya, if you say two people, then the solution is in the next. So we will have, if possible, Thiruvaimozhi 5:18 and 4:22. Why do we call the divine couple as two? That is answered in the next. Mela Sevaranam Ninasevaram Nevi Turdam Malan Vandu Inanal Adiyan Manathai Manila. She Ye Kandianum Peranjaldan Namakaram Selvam Namakaram Mela Tantanayam Avare in Havan. So here it refers to the roles of Lord. Already we saw Sameva Mata Pita Sameva, Thai Tandayu. What kind of parents? Mela Thai Tandayu. The parents are highly respected. Then we have. I think we can take up the next quotation. And this one is R1 or Avara Tunai. Indra Avi Neat Kadal Randu, Navai Pol Pelvic Kadal Lindu Non Tulanga, Devan Polaturum Pelspectrum Tanginorum, Indra Avi Adianon Anani. Now, when we are suffering in the what we call the ocean of life, we tend to be drowned in the flood of the ocean called life. When the ship is caught in stormy ocean, signaling in distress, I stood shivering in the ocean of birth and fall. With exceeding grace and divinity, he heard me and came to me with a cont and discussed in hand and became one. That's what we. This is already repeated by in Andad Goda said it. The Tamil part is more up Avara. So when we get drowned in the ocean of water, ocean of life, then we may not be able to help ourselves by coming out. Therefore, we will be thinking, who will come to save me? And therefore, Avara Tunai. Already we have been immersed in the ocean of life. நாவாய் போல் பிறவிக் கடலுள் நின்று நான் துளங்க. Because we engage the driver, நாவாய் போல் பிறவிக் கடல் நின்று நான் துளங்க, suffering in the life with the boat. The boat has been tossed by the stormy waves, tornado. So தேவ் ஆர் கோலத்தோடும் திருச்சக்கரம் தங்கினோடும் என்று அருள் செய்து அடியேனும் ஆனானே. Lord helped us so much that he came just like he saved the elephant with the letter A. The elephant trumpeting was just only A, just was A. So Lord saved the elephant, so also we will be saved by him. Nammalvar's Pasram have got very deep import. They are available in Bhagavad Gita. வல்லிசேர் நுண்ணடை ஆட்சியர் தம்மோடும் கொல்லமை செய்து குரலை பிணைந்தவர் குறவை பிணைந்தவர் நல்லடி மேல் அணி நாடுழாய் என்று சொல்லுமாறு விளையாட்டியேன் பாவி மாதர் மண் மடந்தை.
I think the point here is about the fragrant tulsi from the feet of the Lord. That's why it was quoted. Yes.
The previous page has the Pastram. வல்லிசேர் நுண்ணிடை ஆட்சியர் தம்மோடும் கொல்லைமை செய்து குரலை பிணைந்தவர் நல்லடி மேல் அணி நாடுழாய் என்று சொல்லுமாறு விளையாட்டியேன் பாவையே. So it talks about Lord Krishna's adventure.
You were explaining about the story of Gajendra Alwar. Gajendra. So Gajendra is an elephant, king of the elephants, and we know the story about Gajendra. But you say that Gajendra was liberated because of his meditation on Omkara? Or was it because of his Kainkarya, because of his bhakti yoga of offering the flower, trying to offer the flower?
Very nice. I've said it very nice.
Both things. Okay. So I'm just wondering, how is it that an elephant, who is an animal, right, after all, is able to meditate upon Omkara, Pranava, which is a transcendental syllable, from the scriptures, from the Vedas, and Shudras and ladies cannot meditate on Omkara?
The elephant was a Gandharva earlier, and his name was Ha, H-A-H-A. The other one is H-U.
Right, so all of us may have been something in a Purva Janma, but in this Janma we are Shudras, Malechas, or ladies, and in this Janma we can't chant Omkara or meditate on Omkara. So Gajendra may have been a Gandharva in a previous life, but in that life he's an animal, he's an elephant. So how is it that he can meditate on Omkara?
It's not said that he practiced Omkara, but already we know those who are illiterate, those who cannot read books, those who cannot get inspiration from teachers, still they get the moksha by different activities. Even the animals also have got the what we call knack for devotion.
Right. So I understand that. At the time of death, Gajendra thought at the time of death, he thought he's going to die. So he thought, at least let me pluck this lotus flower and offer it to the Supreme Lord. And because of that Kainkarya, because of that service to the Lord, he's blessed and he's given liberation. But I didn't hear before about that he was meditating on Omkara.
Yeah. But the Omkara is only meant for literate people.
Okay. All right. So Omkara is only meant for the literate people. Does that mean that you have to know Sanskrit to chant Omkara? Okay.
But
So
for every language,
those persons who don't know Sanskrit, they can't be initiated into Omkara.
right? Yeah, I can.
Because today everybody is literate. Even the mlechas, even the sudras, even the ladies, everybody's literate. Everybody goes to school and learns how to read and write, at least their mother tongue, right? So you in Tamil Nadu they learn Tamil. In foreign countries we learn English and other languages, right? So everybody's literate today. Many people are literate, but you're saying. I'm specifically trying to understand. Somebody has to know Sanskrit language, and then they can use the Omkara. So, like you mentioned before in a previous class about Max Muller, who was a foreigner, but he knew Sanskrit. He studied Sanskrit and knew Sanskrit. So, does that make him eligible to chant and to meditate on Omkara?
Yeah. Without the word Om, I mean the syllable Omkara, one can meditate.
Right. Okay. So Max Muller being a foreigner, but he knew Sanskrit, so he can meditate on Omkara. But whereas there may be people born in Brahmin families in Tamil Nadu who don't know Sanskrit, they're not eligible for Omkara? I'm just trying to understand what the eligibility is. What is the rule? What is the eligibility for meditation on Omkara? Because if elephants can do it, right? If you say that you have to be literate to meditate on Omkara.
Meditation is one of the types of kainkari service. And the very physical kainkaryam, the physical help or the physical care given to the Lord becomes what you call devotion. Devotion by service. Devotion is only an abstract concept. When you do many things as service to Lord, then you have the appreciation, the service motto. The service is there. And especially elephant was a Gandharva in his previous birth. And there is no restriction. In our situation, when we engage in conversational, so we have the subject of the talk to be spiritual wisdom. And when we don't know the word Omkara, the syllable, it is enough that we do service.
Right. Okay. So I'm trying to understand. So in his Gajendra meditated on Omkara when he was a Gandharva in his previous life, or he meditated on Omkara when he was an elephant?
No, we never heard him meditate on Omkara.
Okay. All right. So maybe I misunderstood. In the lecture, you said that he meditated on Omkara, or through Omkara he became liberated. Well, am I wrong?
Well, yeah, without understanding the meaning of the syllable, many people say the Omkara, the Pranava syllable. But that doesn't mean that they will not get moksha.
Okay, so you're saying even if you chant Omkara, even if you don't know the meaning, still you can get liberation by chanting Omkara, meditating on Omkara, and that is a service also. That is also a kainkarya. That is a part of bhakti yoga, and the meditation itself, the dhyanam itself, is a service to God. So So we don't have to know the meaning. So you're saying we don't have to know. Now you're saying we don't have to know the language Sanskrit.
Right.
So somebody can
Right.
still chant Omkara, but they don't know the language Sanskrit.
Right.
Okay. All right. So Gajendra, but I'm just trying to understand when he was the Gandharva Haha. Was that the time when he was chanting Omkara or meditating on Omkara, or was it also when he was when in his next life as an elephant? Did he remember that he was a Gandharva from the previous life? He remembered that he was a Gandharva.
We never hear as animals would meditate on Omkar. So that is only for service. The moksha is given for only service. That is why we call Lakshmana Kaikarya Shiva. Lakshmana is, of course, Adishesha's incarnation. He has to go back to Nitya Vibhuti.
Okay, so I'm still a little bit unclear.
But the bird kite, K-I-T, namely Garuda, he is called Vedatma. Vedatma Vihageshwara in Chatushlok by Alavanda. We may not understand how birds can know scripture. But it happened in the previous Yugas. Krita, all the animals spoke.
So you're saying because it was in Krita Yuga, Garudan knew the Vedas. But see, my understanding of Garudan is that the flapping of his wings is the sounds of the Vedas. I didn't understand necessarily that Garuda actually knew the Vedas, but you're saying Garuda is like the embodiment of the Vedas? He's the Vedas personified, the personification of the Vedas. But does that mean that he knows the Vedas or he chants the Vedas?
That doesn't mean?
No. Garuda, you're saying Garuda is the personification of the Vedas.
Right.
Right? He is the Vedas personified. So does that mean that he also chants the Vedas or he knows the Vedas? My understanding was the sound of his flapping wings.
He knows the Vedas. He knows the Vedas.
He knows the Vedas. Okay, so Garuda is an animal, and he also knows the Vedas. Okay. So, but you're saying that's only in Krita Yuga because in Krita Yuga there were no castes?
Yeah.
In Krita Yuga there was no Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras. Everybody was same level, even the animals?
Yeah.
Okay. So in Krita Yuga, everybody could chant the Vedas. Everybody could chant Omkara, even the ladies, because there was no caste, there was no distinction. Is that correct?
Right.
Right. Okay. So I'm understanding that. So, but Gajendra was not in Krita Yuga. Gajendra was in Krita Yuga or not in Krita Yuga? When was the story of Gajendra? Gajendra. At what time was the story of Gajendra? Did it happen in Krita Yuga?
It happens again.
It happens again. In Krita Yuga, Gajendra happens in Krita Yuga?
Right.
Okay.
It's a cycle. It's an endless cycle.
Yeah, it's a cycle. I want to know where in the cycle it comes. It comes in Krita Yuga, yes?
That we have to study Bhavishyat Purana and
we have to look in the Puranas and we have to see if there's any indication of what time period the Gajendra Moksha happens. But you're saying the Gajendra Moksha happens. It's a regular pastime, a regular leela of the Lord that happens in different yugas, or not in different yugas, but it happens again and again. The Gajendra Moksha is something that happens again and again. Okay, good. Okay, so that was one question. The other question was you were speaking about there's a difference between Deshika Sampradaya and Tenacharya Sampradaya. Yeah, Govindacharya, he just posted to everybody that there was no caste in Krita Yuga, but that we already discussed that. But what I'm saying is you were mentioning I think there was it had to do with the word yugalam in the sloka, in the verse, the word yugalam. And you were saying that Deshika Sampradaya has a concept of the Divya Dampatis, that the Lord and Mahalakshmi are a divine couple. So they're one, but there are two of them making a divine couple, right? So that you also, was that in regard to the word yugalam? But you said that there's a difference between the Deshika Sampradaya and the Tenacharya Sampradaya on this point in some way. But I could
because in the Yugalam, Mahalakshmi is considered Jiva, one of the Jiva kotis by Tenacharya Sampradaya. We are going to discuss it only in the next page.
Oh, okay. So all right. So we haven't discussed that point, but there is a because Deshika Sampradaya considers Mahalakshmi as Ishvara Koti, part of Ishvara. Is there a Koti? Ishvara Tattva. Yeah, and Tenacharya Sampradaya considers her to be part of Jiva Koti. Okay, so all right. So next class we'll discuss this.
I wanted to ask Gopal Singh Swami, how do you review the discussion part of Keshav Swami asking the questions and already Madam Chanta said she was after the questions, his questions, which open some vistas of knowledge.
Yeah, I think Keshav Swami's questions are very searching questions, and genuinely there are a lot of what shall I say, incomplete understanding on some of the things, and different points of view also are there. And to give an answer to some of those questions immediately or straight away may not be possible in one sentence or two sentences. We'll have to go into the depth of the subject. Really on the Gajendra Moksha, what he was asking. It's an elephant, and can it say Om? So these things are difficult to answer. But we have to go by that, whatever we have heard or learned from our acharyas, that yes, the moment the crocodile caught hold of the leg of Gajendra and he prayed for Mahavishnu, Lord, to help him, he threw everything and came rushing to him and saved him. Now this is the story which we have all heard and learned, and we accept that. But as a very questioning person, Keshav Swami is asking some very searching questions. Whether the elephant can say home, and whether such thing is possible, and then whether those who do not know Sanskrit, can they say Om? So I think you have reasonably well answered his doubts and his questions, and I think also that I am reasonably satisfied with your answers. This is my way of looking at it.
Keshav Swami has gone through the Annikam of Villivalam Krishnamacharya Swami, who later became 45th Arageshinger. And he has already found in the beginning of the book that while we get up from the bed, we have to remember Gajendra Moksha.
Uh-huh. Okay. Are we also not supposed to say Hari 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 Hari, Hari, Hari,
Ah.
seven times.
As soon as we finish 7 times the recitation of Sri Harihi, then we will think of a particular
Gajendra
verse which tells us about Gajendra
Gajendra
Moksha. And we can also recite one of the first verse of Ashtabhujashtakam, which says, Gajendra Raksha Tvaritam Bhavantam Grahe Rivaham Vishayer Vikrishtaha Apara Vijnana Dayanubhavam Aptam Satam Ashtabhujam Prapadye. That is also refers to Gajendra Moksha of Vedanta.
Any specific reason why that is being recommended for us? That when we get up first thing after Hari, we should.
We also say Karagre Vasate Lakshmihi, Karamadhe Saraswati, Karamule tu Govindaha, Prabhate Karadarshanam. Samudra Vasane Devi, Parvata Stanamandite, Vishnupatni Namastubhyam. We are worshipping the god of the earth. Vishnupatni Namastubhyam, Padasparsham Khamastame. So this is after this only we say
Om Namah Kshiti Dharaya and get up.
We also say salutation to Adishesha, Namaha Kshiti Dharaya. So then we talk of Gajendra.
When we do Hari, 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 but then we have to do the Stotraratnam before chanting other prayers.
Yeah, that is for making ourselves pure by Stotraratnam.
And the idea is to remember the Lord's going to save us, but also remember that we have wasted our lives up until now. That we haven't fully worshipped and fully done service to the Lord. And today we're going to do better. Today we're going to do much better. Serve Him more.
As we call it in bank, day book. So what is your account? What did you do? Good deeds, bad deeds, help to others. The account is thought of while we go to bed. When we get up from the bed, we will decide to do, as you said, to do something good. Good, very good.
Swami, I have a thought. When we get up, and what I normally do is I get up, as you said, we do see Hari, 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 and then I brush my teeth and go to my Perumal Sannidhi and do my Namaskaram. And or also if I've taken a bath, I don't want to wake up Rama, so I don't want to say Kausalya Supraja Rama, because probably he's still sleeping. So I never say Kausalya Supraja Rama for fear I will disturb his sleep. I don't want to wake him up. So that's, I just want to bring that point, that I don't want to say Kausalya Supraja Rama Purvasmi, because I don't want to disturb Rama's sleep, Perumal's sleep. That's,
there are 2 points. Your good point is good when you say, as soon as you brush your teeth, Ayur Balam Yasho Varchaha Prajah Pasu Vasunicha Brahma Prajnam Suchim Medham Sonno Dehi Vanaspate. Utter these 2 lines and brush your teeth. Then after brushing the teeth, you go to the Sannidhi of the Lord, pray for what we call Abhigamana Aradhanam. That is called Abhigamana Aradhanam. What you are doing is right. So this is Abhigamanam is approaching the Lord in the morning to have some discussion, let's rather, about what transpires during the day. And that is one thing. And the second point which you said, we're not waking up the Lord, is also good, because as soon as he wakes up, you have to supply food to him. Therefore, as soon as the food is ready, as soon as the food is ready, we start what we call Ijja Radhanam from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. That is what we call Abhijit Muhurtam. Then before, of course, Anushtanams are there. As usual, as you said, taking bath, and then there's no harm in waking him up late.
Right.
Because,
Yeah. I would prefer-
But Swami, interesting thing. So when we go to the Koil Alwar, before we open the doors and open the box for the Salagrama, we say Kausalya Supraja Rama Purva Sandhya Pravartate.
yeah.
Sandhya is finished. It's 11 o'clock already.
Right.
But we say you have to get up before Sandhya.
Madhyanam pravartate. Okay. But as you said, ma'am, I would add one more point to Shanta madam. While after brushing the teeth, you take your petrol, that is what we call coffee. When you drink coffee, I think coffee is not avoided by any except people like me. So when you drink, before you drink coffee, you have to offer it.
Yeah, anything. I think anything you take, you offer it. Anything you do, any time of the day, it doesn't matter. You offer it.
Any type of any liquid or solid food that you take, you have to offer. And Keshavdas Swami, I observed him doing. So anything when anything that we want to enjoy or experience,
That's
first we offer it to God.
I do that. I like that. Yeah, that's
So in that case, you have to wake him up. Kausalya Suprajaram and really give him the food.
okay.
So these are all, of course, our own what we call bhakti exposition, rather bhakti involvement, bhakti revealing, our own interest in doing. Okay.
So if we think of the Lord as like a baby, then do we give the babies coffee, or should we only give the milk? I think we should go to the Lord and offer the milk to Him, and then afterwards, I think for us we can add some coffee. But
no, that is what is not recommended. After offering milk, and then you add sugar, you add decoction, and then so that is not nice.
That's not recommended.
Yeah, whatever form of dish that you take, any beverage, you have to offer that beverage. It doesn't mean he doesn't like coffee and so on. So whatever you like, he must also like.
So in Sri Rangam, you have to get up and you have to go get the Murli coffee and bring it home. That is the best. That is the best one in Sri Rangam. You have to go to Murli coffee stand and get that and bring for God.
Yeah.
Swami, I just have a couple other things to say. One is that you don't like the idea of offering milk and then adding decoction and adding sugar. But of course, I will never offer milk to God without the sugar first. He will have sugar in his milk because I know he likes sugar in his milk. Even if I become diabetic, I will offer sugar in the milk for God. But the question is, in the Anikam, I was also reading, in the time of famine, when there's a famine in the country, I'm not saying that there's ever going to be a famine, but they say in the time of famine that you might only have a small amount of rice, and you offer the rice to God, but you don't have enough food for the family, so you have to eat ragi. But you shouldn't offer the ragi to the buckwheat or whatever it is, the ragi to God. So you just offer the rice, and then you take the offered rice prasadam and mix it with the ragi, and then you can eat it.
Yeah.
So this was I heard this idea that actually you can't offer something to God, and if you don't have enough for yourself, you can mix it with some other food, and then it becomes also possible for you to eat that.
Yes.
Can you just say something about that? Is it correct?
No, we have to offer ragi or the wheat or whatever dish.
So even if it's a famine and we don't have good rice to offer God, then we have to offer some substitute, whatever we have to eat, even if we have only ragi, or some which is not considered to be very high class, we should offer that.
Yeah, you have to offer.
Okay.
And again, one more thing, bringing a prasadam from temple or acharya, when you see that it is, say, saltless, so you add salt and you add some spice or something like that, then this is not the right way of doing it.
I see. So you cannot bring you cannot bring the food from the mutt or food from the temple.
You can bring the food from the mud,
but you have to
should not add. See, even making it hot, boiling something, adding something, because it is not.
You cannot make
it
hot
according to your taste.
You cannot make it hot.
You cannot make it.
I think even at home, if it is less of salt, you don't know, because it's already been offered. Whatever is offered to God, that's the way we have to eat it.
Swami, when I sit in Stotraratnam with the Vaishnavas and I take prasadam, then they put salt on my plate. Why are they putting salt on my plate then? If they don't want me to add it, why do they put pickles? Why do they put salt on the plate if they don't want me to add it?
No, that's wrong.
What about if we also, when we offer to God, we also put some salt on the side of his plate in case he wants it? Then we can take that salt and we can also use it later. Prasadam salt.
Right.
Is it possible?
That we can.
Okay, so that's what we have to do. We have to start offering all the pickles and salt also to God. All right.
Unmixed salt again.
Some people say you should not offer salt to the God. You should only offer sweet things.
That is okay, because when you are mixing salt later, it is better that to offer salt also.
Okay, so then finally, we know that people do Stotraratnam only one time, and then they eat twice or three times. But so they have leftover rice, or they make new rice. I've seen also you make new rice for the evening. That also has to be offered, no?
Yeah, that we discussed earlier.
But if we have some more Colombo, or we have some sambar from previous, we can add to it. In the evening, some people they make variety rice out of the leftovers that they have from the lunch.
Right.
They're changing it.
Yeah.
Is it correct?
It's okay, but mentally you must say offer it to God.
Right. So if I have some leftover prasadam from the lunch, right, and I want to make curd rice, then I should take the tahyir, I should take the yogurt, and I should offer that yogurt to God. And after it is offered to God, I'll mix it with the rice that I have left over from lunch. Right?
Because in the morning, okay. For one time Aradhanam, you have already offered curd to God.
Right. So then when we do a Radhanam, we have these sadasanas, and the last one is Paryankasana or Sayanasana. And in the Sayanasana, we think God is going to sleep, and we think we offer God milk, chiram, and we think he's going back to being worshipped by all the Nityasuris, because in the beginning we asked him to come. And Nityasuris to give him to us, and we can worship him. And then he goes back to the Nityasuris worship. So should we do this after we do Stotraratnam before lunch, or should we leave that till the night? Because if we have to offer again to him, don't we have to call him again to come?
That is why we always say antaryami for food. The word antaryami is for food. So you offer it to your antaryami.
Okay, so the lunch, in the Stotraratnam, we offer to the Salagram, we offer to the Vigrahas, and then later on in the day, when we want to eat again, we only offer to the Antaryami. We don't
Yeah.
have to open the koil alwa or do anything else. We
Right.
can offer to the Antaryami.
Because you are not opening it and you are not waking him up. And
So we don't have to take bath again and get all ready and do everything again. So we just offer to the Antaryami.
and the very, very parishechanam as you do it, it is also worship of the Lord. That you are offering the
Right, parisechanam, but people don't do parisechanam in the night. If you take variety,
we
right?
do it, and if it is a tiffin or as you said variety rice, we don't do. But
Yeah.
again, when you take again rice, sambar, rasam, kodambur, sattumadu, and so on.
Okay, so this
Ritantva satyena parishinchami.
yes, ritam tva chena parasinchami is there if you take a full meal in the night,
Right.
in the evening. But if you only take variety rice, do you do parisechanam? You said not for variety rice.
No, I don't know. I don't know who framed the rule for no parisechanam for tiffin and so on. But they have to refer to some. I was thinking about it in the morning. But
So can I do parisechanam for tiffin also?
Generally, some mixed food, we normally don't do that. But remember God in our prayers.
Right. But I mean, if I have a idli, I don't do parisechanam for a idli and break the idli and do pranahutis with the idli. We cannot do that. We don't do that.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you can do it.
You can't do it.
Anything in Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, anything mixed with salt is not given a parisechanam.
Anything mixed with salt.
Yeah.
So they put the rice. The rice is cooked without salt, and they put the rice, and they put a little bit of ghee.
Right.
And even before the dal, before you mix it with dal also, only rice and ghee.
Yeah.
Just like the havis into a fire, only rice and ghee.
Right.
Into the
one can only give what you call plantain fruit, banana fruit, then sugar. When you attend wedding, they will put sugar first and then fruit. Then that can be offered, but not salt. No vegetable, no nothing.
Okay, so when you go to a wedding and they put everything on the plate, then you're supposed to take the banana and the sugar first?
No. That is for auspicious beginning.
So before you do the pranahutis, you have to take the banana and sugar?
No. But parisechanam, in the plate, the leaf, one can serve sugar and fruit, but not any salt. Sometimes they first give pickles. The pickles are not supposed to be served first.
The pickles only come later. They should give the pickles.
Some people, as you see, all vegetables are just arranged or thrown into the leaf initially. Afterwards only we get the rice.
Actually, somebody told me that the serving method is different between Tenacharya Sampradaya and Deshika Sampradaya. That I think so Deshika Sampradaya, do they put the rice first?
Yeah.
And Tenacharya Sampradaya, they put the curries first.
No.
Yeah.
And afterwards they put the rice. Is there some deep significance because of this? Okay. So Govindacharya is saying he always cooks rice with salt. He puts some salt when he cooks the rice, but he should not put salt when you cook the rice, right? Never put the salt when you cook the rice, because you have to offer it to God, and God doesn't like God likes only rice with ghee and no salt. Correct?
Yeah, Shuddhanam. Shuddhanam.
Yeah. We only put salt because we have our taste, but he doesn't want the taste. Thank you very much, Swami.
Thank you.
Okay. Some shukshma, dharma shukshmas. Some very, very small things. Details, the detailed questioning today.
Yeah.
Intense interrogation. Detailed questioning. Thank you very much for bearing with my questions.
Our thoughts should center around
Yeah,
the Lord.
that's right.
That's important.
Right. I was very happy to hear Mrs. Varadarajan say that she doesn't wake up her deities. She won't wake up the Lord. So I was thinking, she's such a nice mother. She lets the even gods to sleep in. But then I was thinking, I am such a bad person because immediately I go and I wake my God. You must get up. I have to worship you.
I cannot give God raw milk. I have to heat it up, cool it to the right temperature, and add some sugar and kesari.
That's right.
I cannot give it like that. I would rather not give it, but I cannot give it.
Yeah, Nadadu Rammal. And Shanta madam will not wake him up on weekends also. Late.
He's still sleeping.
So I may start doing this in the morning. I'll go and I'll only go when I say coffee is ready. Now you wake up. Only when that is ready. Okay.
Yeah.
There is some stotra upachara padeshena kritana hararmaya apachara niman sarvang kshamasva purushottama.
It is the end of the Thiruvaradhanam.
Yeah.
She knows how to get excused also.
He's too kind. He's too kind. We are his children.
All mistakes are forgiven.
Yeah.
It is
so much.
it is very
Thank
easy to forgive people like this because they're so devoted. They can be easily forgiven. Anything.
That's all. We'll meet
Thank you.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
स्वादयन्निह सर्वेषाम् त्रय्यन्तार्थम् सुदुर्ग्रहम् स्तोत्रयामास योगीन्द्रः तम् वन्दे यामुनाह्वयम् नमो नमो यामुनाय नमो नमः नमो नमो यामुनाय नमो नमः यत्पदाम्भोरुहध्यान विध्वस्ताशेषकल्मषः वस्तुतामुपयातोऽहम् यामुनेयम् नमामि तम्
श्रीमत्कृष्ण समाह्वाय नमो यामुन सूनवे यत्कटाक्ष एकलक्ष्याणां सुलभः श्रीधरः सदा नमः यामुन पाद अब्ज रेणुभिः पावित आत्मने विदित अखिल वेद्याय गुरवे विदित आत्मने
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः।